from a quality standpoint, it seems pretty sturdy. I mean, it's not going to bend or break as far as I know. I mean, everything's, even the speaker, as little as it is, I guess it's packed in there pretty tight because it has a good punch to it.
We'll show you some pictures of the insides of this thing. It's really kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, tell us why we had to see the pictures of the insides of this thing.
Well, that's an interesting question. I bought one of these from a musician's friend, and it arrived in a non-working state. Basically, I would turn it on and nothing would happen, and that was with batteries. But I did get it to work by plugging it into the wall. So I figured there was something going on with something inside of it, like I figured maybe the battery box wire had just come unsprung or something. So I took it apart, and I'm like, I'm going to fix this myself, you know, why not? And I messed around with it, and I prodded it with my various instruments and stuff, and I determined that the problem was somewhere on one of the circuit boards in there, and, you know, I didn't want to endanger voiding the warranty in an attempt to fix it when I knew very well that I could just send it back to them. And so I eventually did just send it back to them after being very careful to reassemble it in such a way that
Whoops!
that they would never know that I disassembled it. And they never gave me any crap, so they probably never even knew. But now they know. And they sent me another one, and the other one worked just fine. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if it got drop-kicked in shipping. The box looked a little, you know, crumpled, so maybe that was the case. I can't imagine that Yamaha is sending instruments out of their factory that are not working. I imagine they test them before they ship them out. But who knows? Maybe they tested it by plugging it in and didn't bother to check to see if it worked with batteries. I don't know. But you know, they took care of it, so I don't want to, you know, hold it against them too badly. But
they took care of it, or musician's friend took care of it?
Oh, musician's friend took care of it. They returned it. So I mean, I guess it depends what retailer you get the thing from, and that's always kind of a hazard when you're buying anything on the internet, much less electronics, because you never know whether the thing that arrives is going to work or whether it will arrive at all.
I did not buy mine on musician's friend. I got mine on Amazon, or something like you're saying, like $220 or so. These things are not exactly new. They've been around for what, 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years. There's so many different models of MIDI guitar nowadays, but this one is about as cheap as it gets and pretty versatile for what it is. I mean, you can't expect to have a decent MIDI guitar for $200, like you were saying, a decent synthesizer by any means. But I don't know. This seems to be an interesting blend of a whole different, whole wide array of instruments all in one. And the advantages, again, is you can plug it in or play it on batteries. It's MIDI. It's got even a headphone port on this thing, so you can make all kinds of noise without making all kinds of noise.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. But I have to say, it's just not quite the same thing as a real guitar. It's not going to give you that same connection, the same feel with the instrument. You can't do harmonics that I'm aware of on this thing. You know, you can't really feel the string vibrating. You can't do, you know, like things like pull-offs and stuff like that, and just, you know, that it's kind of abrupt. How the notes change from one to another, yeah. And on the guitar, you know, it's just different. You know, like if I'm fretting a note up here and I hit the string and I let it go, it just disappears. The note's just gone into thin air. That was a different note, but you get my point. Like,
yeah,
on the guitar that wouldn't happen. There'd be some reverberation, you know.
Those are some of the improvements I can see with maybe a next model for Yamaha would be to put some of the same sensitivity they put into the strings here, with the spring loadedness and the durability and the different levels of sensitivity, into the string portion.
Ooh, I don't know that's going to happen. That's
well, and to keep the price low, probably not.
Because you're talking about 6 versus 6 times 12
right
up here, so that's.
Well, I imagine if they can have a pressure-sensitive button, then right, like you were saying right now, it's pretty much just abrupt on or off. How you press these things, there's no degree of in between, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any sensitivity up here.
So overall, I think this is a good instrument, but not as a guitar. For me, again, it holds its place in my market because I can play out of all the instruments I think I can play, the guitar is probably the top of the list. I can't even play that much, but it makes me seem like I can play a lot more. So for example, if there's something I wanted to throw into FL Studio that I didn't know how to play on piano, but I know how it sounds on guitar, I'll use this instead, and usually go from there. I can expand on that. These aren't strings; they even feel kind of plasticky. They can hear them vibrate when you move them because they're jottering around inside their little recesses there. But again, I don't know what AG stands for, so I don't know that they're even trying to market this thing really as a guitar. Yamaha is pretty well known for all kinds of different instruments, not just guitars. So maybe we should do some research, find out what the AG stands for.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, like you said, this is what it is. It's a different type of instrument. It's not a guitar. It's more like an entry-level synthesizer that just happens to look like a guitar.
Yeah, kind of a mix between a guitar and one of those keyboard guitars you see back in the 80s.
Oh, exactly. Whatever happened to those?
They were lame.
Fair enough. We'll have to review one of those one of these days.
eBay, here we come.
Well, you want to show these people, these fine people, what can be done with one of these things?
I think you're better qualified than I am for
throwing a song together or something.
That's for sure. What song do you want to throw together?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to do a blues jam, or do you want to like?
Well, seeing as I can't play guitar, it's kind of difficult.
All right. Well, why don't we cut the video and then we'll like figure something out.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is Peter.
This is EJ, Eric.
And this has been Studio to Stereo. 1, 2, 3, 4.